Have you ever wanted to develop a game, create an action fighter, a sci-fi adventure, or unwisely make a mature targeted aeroplane adventure game? Well, turns out you can, and so much more. Hello there, my name is Red, and this is Bite Size Look, a fun look at a smaller game in a bite-size episode. So let's sink our teeth into Game Dev Tycoon. Don't forget to like, sub, and comment, it really helps me out. But enough of that, let's go. Game Dev Tycoon is a game, funnily enough, about game development, with a simple hook and fun gameplay. You can lose quite a few hours, but you will enjoy it at least. Developed and published by Greenheart Games, released fully in December 2012 and arrived on Steam in August 2013. You begin your journey in the 1980s in your garage. You can customize your player and give yourself a creative, or not so creative, company name. Game length affects how many years you'd like the game to last. This either quickens or slows down the world events and which year your end game score is calculated. The pirate mode is something special, basically an ultra hard mode, but with an interesting history. More on that later. You can choose to import previous hints every time you start a new character. I always like to have them on. You gain insight throughout your run with hints learned after each game release. So first, you need to make a game. Side note, I'm running a mod called the Tag mod. It gives a sleeker UI, options for instant events, and more information. I consider it essential to your experience. I'll give you a preview of key gameplay in the original look as well, but for the most part, I'll be in Tag. The controls are simple. Click around, nothing more. Your goal is to create games, good games, games that sell and are a pleasing mix. First up, name your game. Again, being original or phoning it in. Choose the genre, action, adventure, RPG, simulation, or strategy. Later on, casual will become available. You're given 4 random topics to start. These cover a wide variety of subjects such as hacking, school, farming, and so much more. 66 in total. Pick a topic and a genre you think will make a fantastic game and choose your platform. Platforms are limited to begin with, but more come along in reflection of real-world releases, both the ups of new platforms arriving on the scene and the downs of lost market share or obsolescence. You get a cost and current market share of the platform. Using these numbers can help you decide which to choose. All unlocked hints will help in future runs and are displayed as pluses or minuses. Both can be 3 at maximum. Chosen your elegant mix and glorious title? Good. Now begin. Your next choice will be the graphics level. At the moment, we only have text-based or level 1 2D graphics. More will come later. In my less than humble opinion, making a text-based game isn't worth it at all. In the top right there, you'll have a total cost of everything so far. Once you click Start Development, the money is spent. This is your last chance to back out. Congratulations! You're on your way to making a game. During development, the bar at the top shows your progress. 3 evenly spread out stages will appear. Each stage you need to allocate your development time. This is where hints can really help out. They give you a great guide to the ratios that may be required. Here we are making an action game. Engine is most important, followed by gameplay, with story and quest not so much. So adjust the sliders as needed. Once you've made your decision, you can proceed. Orbs of bugs, design, technology, and research will generate. Each slider determines the ratio of orbs generated for design or technology. Trying to balance tech and design is your main goal. When all 3 stages are complete, you're finished. Sort of. Wait for the bugs to all be fixed. They are sorted out only after development. If left, those pesky little gremlins will hurt your review score. Once happy, release the game. You can sit back on a job well done and let the reviews roll in. Reviews determine how well your game will sell. You get a score out of 10 from each of the 4 reviewers. Your game now goes to market and the money can roll in. You gain fans as you release games and make event decisions which appear throughout the game. More fans means more sales as well. You can now generate a report. This is how you learn your hints. You and eventually your team also gain experience and level up. As you progress, you'll get access to contracts, target audience, and marketing. Contracts let you earn some extra cash and research points. Target audience lets you target age groups, and marketing lets you build up hype for your games. The more hype, the better, provided the game's good, of course. A bad hyped game is bad for sales. Research points allow you to, well, research things. Making an engine is important. Once unlocked, you can create your own custom engines. When something levels up, more research is unlocked. Research, level up, and unlock more things to add to your custom engines. Better engines with more features is good, but they are costly. You need to balance creating engines with making games and paying your bills. Ah, bills. We can never escape you, even in a virtual world. Eventually, you can do well enough to move to a new office. You'll have a breakout game that pushes you to over $1 million, and this is when you get the option to move. Don't be disheartened, it'll happen eventually, provided you're not perpetually pushing out rubbish. With the move and a bit of training, you can hire staff. Searching for staff costs money. You can spend more money for more options to be available, and you have a choice to either target tech, design, or balanced candidates. Hire some staff and let them settle in. Maybe do a contract or two, and don't forget the welcome package. Your staff will be rubbish at first, but they will get better, especially with some training. However, do note training costs money and research points, so choose wisely. Your team levels up as they go, meaning they produce less bugs and generally work better. Of course, this comes with a higher wage. Also note, they scratch their heads sometimes. When doing so, they won't produce many bubbles. This is part of the randomness of each run and helps simulate real-life things like having a bad week. It's a nice but frustrating touch. You can't do anything about it besides complaining. Staff also need to go on holidays every now and again. The good-for-nothing layabouts. This bar appears and begins to drain. The lower the bar, the more ineffective they are. Be warned, this also affects training. Sync your staff so that they all go on holiday at the same time. You'll thank yourself later. Be careful, those low bars can ruin games, so treat those pixels you call staff well. Publishers are a key part of expanding. They all have random generated requirements: review score, genre, topic, audience, and platform. Be warned, publishers won't always want good mixes made, so keep an eye out and check before committing to a game. Royalties are key. You will be punished if you don't meet the requirements with a fine, but sometimes I find that's better for a more lucrative cut, so take some risks. Also make sure to not repeat topics and genres one after another. This will give a very negative impact to your score. Sequels can be made later on, so don't worry, you can revive your military action game Called to Duty later on. Yes, original, I know. Once you reach 100,000 fans, you can publish your own medium games without a negative effect. You can make large and AAA games later. The suggested fan count for those is 250,000 and 1 million respectively. Medium games and onwards require more of a balancing act. Each staff member must be assigned to a task, one to multiple if you'd like, but like us all, they can only take so much. Overworking negatively affects your game and its score. Match your staff's design and tech levels to the job best suited for them. At the very least, use staff for unimportant sliders to either save them or others for later. Continue on and discover. New platforms will come around, world events, bigger games, higher budgets, vast bank account sizes, or crushing loans. You'll eventually be able to specialize your staff, attend conventions, gain a bigger office, a research department, console creation, and more. But of course, a run is always about experimentation. Try out different game sizes, genres, and topics and have some fun. Build some more engines, fulfill some contracts, and fire someone just for the thrill of it. Or because you spent basically nothing on hiring them and they're rubbish. Be a kind boss if you can. I'll leave you to discover the rest for yourself. Wouldn't want to spoil everything now, would I? I've given you the building blocks here, so go build yourself an empire. Never forget, Game Dev Tycoon is a roguelite. You're going to fail. You're going to struggle, and that's perfectly okay. The journey is fun, the destination is just a bonus. To finish, I'll close out with the aforementioned pirate mode. It's a good story. Initially, when Greenheart Games released their game for sale, just an hour later they also seeded their own cracked versions of their game on pirate websites. These versions had a sneaky bit of extra code. This code enabled piracy in their game. Players of this pirated version would find the game impossible. Their games would be pirated and this would quickly lead to bankruptcy. These people then went online, without any sense of irony, to complain about piracy in their pirated game. They even had the gall to demand DRM or anti-piracy measures. Just one day after release, Greenheart Games released some rather depressing statistics. Just 214 legit users, with at least 3,104 users playing cracked versions. Thankfully, Game Dev Tycoon has gone on to sell an estimated 1.3 million copies on Steam alone. Funnily enough, there is now DRM and anti-piracy measures in the pirate mode. You need to battle it out with the pirates, the not-so-fun, non-yar-har-matey type, and even sell company shares to survive. It's a grueling experience, so only go in when you're ready. But alas, that is all for now. Thank you very much for watching. Don't forget to like, sub, and leave a comment, and I'll see you next time. Goodbye for now.